Thank you. What is up, everybody? It is Yorick. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're back in Ghosts of Tabor now that the game has officially launched, and you can go pick it up on App Lab or through Steam. I'll have a link in the pinned comments to the App Lab version of the game if you are struggling to find it, and I'll also have a link to the Steam store page. I wanted to go over some changes that they've made in the headquarters that should be of note, especially for those who've watched my last crib video, basically, where I go through the headquarters and everything that's in here. I thought I'd show you some changes. So first and foremost, you'll notice that the terminal that was there is now missing. That has been amalgamated into this one, so all of the missions, all the trader missions are now here on this tab, and it's just great because then you just have to deal with raids, contacts and missions from one terminal rather than having to switch between two. It's a nice quality of life change. For those of you who have played recently, you'll know that the offline version of the raids was not working. If you brought in gear such as this MP5 and you went into a training, what would happen is you would not extract with your gear, or if you die you would lose your gear. So if I take this, kill myself, because that's what we do, now I should, let's just wait for a second. Yeah, so now I've got my MP5 again. So I'm really happy that that particular issue has been resolved. It was a big bugbear for many people, especially if they want to learn the map such as Island, because it is a big map. You should now be able to do that from the safety of the offline training mode. Some other things that you should be interested in is if you do launch and you have bought one of the other packages, one of the DLC packages, all of the gear for that will be in the trade room and it will be here. Unfortunately, it kind of comes in this big bulk way, but you know, it still functions and you can still get all your gear. If you want a specific thing such as I want that Glock 17, I can just click on it and that will then come through, and I can click on the magazine as well and that will come through, and I can just, you know, sort myself out like that. You can also scroll. If I put my finger, you'll see a line that appears underneath the scroll bar. When the line appears, you can click down and it will scroll down. Another thing is, if you don't have this particular room open, I don't know what this says, I think it's recreation room, I don't know. When you open this up, there will be a number of things that you'll need to enter. So you get the key cards that are down this neck of the woods. And if I take the red one, for instance, finds the room with the red thing on it, I can put the card in and then the room will open. And in here you'll have a number of more storage space. You've got a gun wall, you've got a tactical waifu, another locker, and a few other places that you can just take your gun and pop it down. Now, probably one of the most important rooms for you to know about, the big change here. So if we go down here into sector 3 down the green room, there is now an actual functional shooting range that you can take your gun and shoot a number of the targets. It can help you learn how to use the iron sights on the weapon if you are struggling like I do, because I'm terrible with iron sights. This has kind of not changed all that much. There's a tutorial section here which you can open up, and that particular hologram will basically just give you an overview of how to use this room. It'll be very similar to the tutorial that is available when you first launch the game. It will teach you a lot of the nuances of weapons in the game, such as the MP5 and the AKs. I don't even know what this is. I think it's the Taran tactical pistol. But yeah, so you can learn about all the various different weapons, their nuances. There's lots of stuff that is of note that's good to know about. I did that surprisingly well. It gives you the opportunity to use something such as the LMGs, which might not be something that you get the opportunity to use very, very often. I would heavily suggest that you spend the time going through this level and learning about it, and learning about all the different mechanics, go through the shooting range here with one of the weapons, and most importantly, live the dream of being the Sesame Street big and shoot open a door. This is one of the things I didn't expect them to have in the game, and I do once again suggest that you spend the time here. You can do the consumables, you do looting, you can shoot various different guns, and down here you can snap someone's thank you, and we can extract here. But probably one of the nicest changes that they've made is now you can store any item within these blue boxes. So if I take the SKS for instance, before we would never be able to store these in these areas. They've now made it so that anything can be stored within these areas. As you can see, it goes red. If I drop it there, it's not going to stay persistently. If I move it across, as you can see, it kind of goes back to the normal color. If I leave it like that, it's going to work. And this knife is just an example of what I mean. If I drop it on the floor here and I enter any other room, what will happen is that knife will disappear, but that gun will remain, because of the way that their storage works. Whenever one of these doors closes, anything left on the floor will disappear. So if I enter here, as you see, the knife is gone, but the gun has remained. So if you do want to do anything like that, you can now do it. You can now store guns on these tables. It's a nice change, and I didn't even realize that they had added that. Anyway, that's everything for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If there's anything you would like me to show or go through, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to get a video out. So anyway, thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Ciao.